Ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you something. Life will not hand you respect just because you ask for it. Respect is earned. And for a smart woman, it's earned through discipline, courage, and knowing exactly what you stand for. There are 5 rules, 5 pillars you've got to hold on to if you want to rise above the noise and live with purpose. Rule number 1, protect your mind. What you think, you become. The world will try to pour fear into your head, doubt into your heart, and confusion into your spirit. Don't let it. Be careful what you feed your thoughts. Read what sharpens your wisdom, not what dulls your vision. Surround yourself with people who push you forward, not those who drag you into their chaos. A smart woman guards her mental space like a castle, because she knows that once her thoughts are strong, her life will follow. Protect your mind, because everything you are, everything you will ever be, begins in your thoughts. Your mind is the control center of your life. It's where your dreams are born, where your faith is built, and where your battles are either won or lost, long before they show up in the real world. If you let the wrong seeds get planted there, they'll grow into weeds that choke out your potential. But if you guard it and plant the right seeds, it will become a garden of strength, clarity, and vision. Every day, the world is throwing messages at you through television, social media, conversations, even in the silence of your own doubts. If you're not careful, those messages will tell you you're not enough, you're too late, or you're too far behind to ever catch up. Protecting your mind means deciding what you will and will not allow to take root. You have to treat it like a sacred space. Just like you wouldn't let a stranger walk into your home and start rearranging your furniture, you can't let toxic ideas, negativity, and fear just wander into your thoughts and take control. That means being intentional about what you consume, the books you read, the music you listen to, the conversations you entertain. These things are not neutral. They either feed your growth or drain it. If you spend your time scrolling through drama and comparing yourself to others, don't be surprised when your self-worth feels small. But if you surround yourself with inspiring voices, challenging ideas, and uplifting truths, you'll find that your confidence grows, your vision sharpens. Protecting your mind also means protecting your energy. Some people drain you without even trying. They're always complaining, always gossiping, always bringing problems without solutions. If you let their words live in your mind, they'll start to shape how you see yourself and your future. You can love people from a distance and still guard your peace. The people you allow close to you should be those who water your dreams, not those who try to bury them. And don't think protecting your mind is just about blocking the bad. It's also about feeding the good. You have to actively fill your mind with thoughts that strengthen you. That might mean starting your morning with affirmations that remind you of your worth, reading scriptures or wisdom that centers you, or learning something new that expands your perspective. It's about building a mental environment where hope has room to grow and where fear has no place to settle. Another part of protecting your mind is mastering your focus. Distractions are one of the biggest threats to your mental strength. We live in a world that's constantly pulling at your attention, trying to get you to chase things that don't matter. A smart woman knows that she can't control everything around her, but she can control what she focuses on. When you lock your focus on your purpose, your mind becomes a fortress, strong against distractions, resistant to doubt, and clear about where it's going. Protecting your mind means knowing how to talk to yourself. You are the most influential voice in your own life. If your self-talk is filled with criticism, you'll live under the weight of your own words. But if your self-talk is filled with encouragement, accountability, and belief, you'll walk through life with a strength that no one can take from you. Your mind is a powerful weapon, but like any weapon, it's only as effective as the person who wields it. Guard it fiercely, feed it wisely, and direct it purposefully. Because once your mind is protected, there's nothing in the world that can break your spirit. Rule number 2, value your time. Time is the one thing you can't get back. Don't waste it chasing people who don't value you, arguing over things that don't matter, or trying to prove yourself to people who have already made up their minds about you. Every minute you spend should be an investment in your growth, your peace, or your dreams. A smart woman understands that saying no is sometimes the most powerful yes she can give to herself. Value your time because it is the most precious currency you will ever own. You can make more money, you can replace possessions, but you cannot rewind a single second of your life. Every moment that passes is gone forever. And once you understand that, you start to treat your time like the treasure it truly is. The difference between people who live with purpose and those who feel stuck often comes down to how they spend their time. A smart woman knows that every day is an investment, and she chooses wisely where to put it. Valuing your time starts with realizing that not everything and everyone deserves access to it. Some people will waste your hours with meaningless drama, endless complaining, or conversations that go nowhere. Some opportunities will look good on the surface, but lead you away from your goals. You have to be able to say no without guilt. Saying no is not being rude, it's being responsible with your life. Every yes you give to something that doesn't serve you is a no to something that does. It also means setting priorities. You can't do everything, and you shouldn't try to. If you spend your day reacting to every little thing that comes your way, you'll end up exhausted and unfulfilled. A smart woman decides what truly matters, her growth, her peace, her goals, and she structures her life around those things. She puts her energy into activities that move her forward and lets go of what keeps her stagnant. Valuing your time also means eliminating distractions. In a world of constant notifications, endless scrolling, and other people's emergencies, it's easy to let your attention be stolen. But you have to remember, time thieves come disguised as just 5 minutes. 5 minutes of scrolling, 5 minutes of gossip, 5 minutes of procrastination. Over time, those minutes add up to hours, days, even years lost. You have to train yourself to recognize when you're drifting and pull yourself back on course. Another way to value your time is to stop overcommitting. It's tempting to try to be everything to everyone, saying yes to favors, projects, and social events out of obligation or fear of disappointing others. But that's how you end up drained and resentful. Protecting your time means protecting your energy, because your time is only as powerful as the focus and strength you bring to it. Sometimes the most loving thing you can do for yourself and others is to decline an invitation so you can show up fully for what truly matters. Valuing your time also requires using it intentionally. Every day, ask yourself, is what I'm doing right now moving me closer to my goals or keeping me in the same place? This doesn't mean you can't rest or have fun. Rest is essential, but even your rest should be intentional, chosen because it renews you, not because you're avoiding something important. Time spent on personal growth, learning, and building meaningful relationships is time invested, not wasted. You also have to remove the mindset that you'll do it later. Later is a dangerous word. It steals from your future and gives nothing in return. If something matters to you, start now. Waiting for the perfect time is how people lose years without realizing it. The perfect time is the moment you decide to act. And most importantly, valuing your time means valuing yourself. When you believe you are worthy of peace, success, and fulfillment, you naturally protect your hours from being stolen by things that don't align with your vision. You begin to set boundaries, not because you're cold, but because you understand that your time is the foundation of your life. Once it's gone, it's gone. When you truly value your time, you stop chasing every distraction and start moving with intention. You no longer live on other people's schedules, you create your own. And that's when you discover the power of a life lived on purpose. Rule number 3, control your emotions. Listen, the world will try to provoke you, and there will be moments where anger, frustration, and sadness hit hard. But power doesn't live in reacting, it lives in responding. A smart woman doesn't let every storm pull her in. She knows that emotions are like waves. If you ride them with control, you stay afloat. If you let them control you, you drown. Strength is not the absence of emotion, it's the mastery of it. Control your emotions, because the way you respond to life's challenges determines more than the challenges themselves. Life will not always be fair, and people will not always treat you the way you deserve. There will be moments when anger burns hot in your chest, when disappointment cuts deep, and when fear tries to grip your mind. But your power lies in how you handle those moments. You cannot control every situation, but you can control your reaction, and that control is where real strength lives. When you let your emotions run unchecked, they can push you into decisions you'll regret. Anger can make you say words you can't take back. Jealousy can make you act in ways that damage your relationships. Fear can keep you from taking the very steps that would change your life. Emotions are not your enemy. They are signals like alarms in your mind letting you know something matters. But just because the alarm is loud doesn't mean you let it drive the car. Controlling your emotions begins with awareness. You have to notice what you're feeling before you can guide it. Too many people react instantly without pausing to think. And that's how small problems turn into big ones. A smart woman learns to breathe, to pause, to let the first wave of feeling pass before speaking or acting. That moment of stillness between feeling and action is where wisdom has a chance to step in. It also means refusing to be manipulated by other people's moods. There will always be someone trying to provoke you, someone who knows exactly which buttons to press. If you allow them to control your reactions, you've given them control over you. You have to become like a steady rock in a river. The water rushes and swirls, but you remain unmoved. That doesn't mean you don't feel. It means you choose not to be swept away. Part of controlling your emotions is understanding the difference between reacting and responding. A reaction is impulsive. It's driven purely by the heat of the moment. A response is intentional. It takes the feeling into account, but filters it through logic and self-respect. When you respond instead of react, you protect your relationships, your reputation, and your peace. And controlling your emotions isn't just about holding back the negative, it's also about managing the highs. Excitement can lead to impulsive commitments you can't keep. Overconfidence can cause you to underestimate challenges. A balanced mind keeps your emotions in check, whether you're feeling joy, sadness, anger, or fear. It allows you to celebrate without losing focus and to endure pain without losing hope. One of the strongest ways to keep your emotions in control is to keep your perspective in check. Ask yourself, will this matter in a week, a month, a year? Most things we get upset about fade quickly, and yet in the moment, they feel like everything. When you step back and see the bigger picture, you can choose your battles and let go of the rest. It also helps to have healthy outlets for your emotions. Suppressing them completely is not control, it's avoidance. Journaling, exercising, praying, meditating, these practices help you release the pressure without damaging yourself or others. They give your feelings a place to go so they don't explode at the wrong time. And finally, remember that emotional control is not weakness, it's power. Anyone can yell, anyone can lash out, anyone can give in to fear, but it takes real discipline to stand in the middle of a storm and remain calm. That calmness is not about ignoring reality, it's about owning it. When you control your emotions, you control the direction of your life. You stop being tossed around by every wave and start steering toward where you truly want to go. Rule number 4, never stop learning. The moment you think you know it all, you've already started falling. Life is a classroom and every day has a lesson, sometimes in success, sometimes in failure. Read more, listen more, seek out mentors, and study the game you're playing. A smart woman knows that wisdom is like a seed. You plant it, water it, and let it grow into opportunities you didn't even see coming. Never stop learning, because the moment you think you've arrived is the moment you start falling behind. Life is constantly changing. The world moves forward whether you're ready or not. New ideas, new opportunities, and new challenges are always emerging, and the people who thrive are the ones who keep growing. A smart woman knows that knowledge is not just power, it's protection, it's opportunity, and it's freedom. Learning is not limited to classrooms or degrees. Every day has a lesson waiting for you. Sometimes it's in a conversation, sometimes it's in a mistake, and sometimes it's in a moment of silence when you're paying attention. If you walk through life thinking you already know everything, you'll miss those lessons. But if you stay curious, you'll find that growth has no limits. One of the best ways to keep learning is to read. Books are like silent mentors. They can give you decades of wisdom in a few pages. They can show you new perspectives, challenge your thinking, and give you strategies to handle situations you haven't even faced yet. A smart woman feeds her mind with material that stretches her thinking, not just entertains her. Entertainment has its place, but growth must be intentional. Another way to never stop learning is to seek mentors and role models. There's no reason to figure everything out the hard way when someone else has already walked the road ahead of you. Pay attention to how they think, how they handle challenges, and how they carry themselves. You don't have to copy them, but you can take pieces of their wisdom and apply them to your own journey. A wise learner takes what's useful and leaves the rest. And learning doesn't only come from those ahead of you, it can also come from those beside you and even those behind you. Everyone has a story, and every story has a lesson. You can learn patience from a child, resilience from a friend, or humility from a stranger. When you open yourself to learning from anyone, pride can't block your growth. Mistakes are one of the most powerful teachers you will ever have, but only if you're willing to face them. Too many people make the same errors over and over because they refuse to reflect on them. Every failure, every disappointment, every missed opportunity carries a lesson that can prepare you for your next breakthrough. But you have to be humble enough to ask, what can I learn from this, instead of just feeling defeated? Keeping your mind active also means being open to change. Sometimes the lesson life gives you will challenge what you thought you knew. Growth often means letting go of outdated beliefs and replacing them with better ones. That can be uncomfortable. It's easier to hold on to the familiar, but learning requires a willingness to be wrong so you can become right. Technology, trends, and industries are evolving faster than ever. If you're not intentionally updating your skills, you risk being left behind. Whether it's learning a new tool, improving your communication, or studying your field, staying relevant is a choice. The women who rise in their careers and in life are the ones who refuse to become outdated. And never forget that learning is not just about the external world, it's also about yourself. The better you understand your strengths, weaknesses, triggers, and patterns, the better you can navigate life. Self-awareness is one of the highest forms of learning because it allows you to adjust your mindset, your habits, and your approach before problems grow. When you make learning a lifelong habit, you turn every experience, good or bad, into something valuable. You stop seeing obstacles as walls and start seeing them as classrooms. You become adaptable, resourceful, and unstoppable. And in a world that's always changing, those qualities will keep you ahead of the curve. Rule number 5, walk with self-respect. You set the tone for how the world treats you. If you don't believe in your worth, you give others permission to doubt it too. Carry yourself with dignity in your words, in your actions, in your choices. Don't settle for less than you deserve, and don't apologize for having standards. A smart woman doesn't shrink to make others comfortable. She stands tall so others can rise with her. Walk with self-respect because the way you carry yourself teaches the world how to treat you. If you don't see your own worth, you give others permission to doubt it. A smart woman understands that self-respect is not arrogance, it's not pride, it's the foundation of dignity, confidence, and personal power. Without it, you become vulnerable to being undervalued, overlooked, and mistreated. With it, you move through life with an energy that demands respect before a single word is spoken. Self-respect starts with knowing who you are and what you stand for. If you don't have clear values, you'll bend to fit anyone else's expectations. You'll say yes when you should say no, and you'll accept treatment that goes against your worth. But when you are rooted in your principles, you won't be swayed by temporary approval or intimidated by disapproval. You'll stand firm, even when standing firm costs you comfort. Part of walking with self-respect is setting boundaries and keeping them. Boundaries are not walls to keep people out. They are guardrails that protect your peace, your time, and your emotional well-being. People will test them, intentionally or not, and how you respond will set the tone for how they treat you in the future. When you allow someone to repeatedly cross a line, you teach them that your limits are negotiable. But when you enforce your boundaries calmly and consistently, you teach them that you value yourself enough to protect your space. Your words also reflect your self-respect. Speak with intention and clarity. Avoid lowering yourself to gossip, unnecessary arguments, or constant self-deprecating humor. What you say about yourself, even as a joke, shapes how others see you. And how you see yourself, speak life into your own name. Compliment yourself without shame. Own your strengths without apology. The way you present yourself is another silent language of self-respect. This isn't about chasing trends or impressing others. It's about showing that you care about yourself enough to carry yourself with pride. Your posture, your eye contact, your tone of voice, they all communicate something before you even start speaking. When you walk into a room with your head high and your shoulders back, you silently declare, "I belong here." Self-respect also means refusing to settle for less than you deserve, in relationships, in opportunities, in how you are treated. This doesn't mean being unrealistic or entitled. It means knowing the difference between compromise and lowering your standards to the point of self-betrayal. The more you honor your worth, the more life aligns with that standard. And yes, it may mean walking away from people or situations that don't meet it, but that's not loss. That's protection. It's also about how you treat yourself when no one is watching. Do you keep the promises you make to yourself? Do you prioritize your health, your goals, your rest? Or do you constantly put yourself last? Self-respect grows when you live in alignment with your own needs and values, even when it's inconvenient. When you show up for yourself consistently, you build a trust with yourself that radiates outward. Walking with self-respect will sometimes make others uncomfortable, especially those who benefit from you being insecure or unsure. They might call you difficult, arrogant, or selfish. But that's only because they can no longer take advantage of your silence or compliance. Don't let their discomfort make you shrink. Your self-respect is not up for negotiation. And perhaps the most powerful thing about self-respect is that it inspires others. When people see a woman who knows her worth and lives by it, it challenges them to raise their own standards. It becomes a silent permission slip for others to stand taller, speak clearer, and value themselves more. When you walk with self-respect, you don't have to beg for attention or chase validation. You simply become the kind of person who draws it naturally. Your presence speaks before your words. Your energy leads before your steps, and your life becomes a reflection of the standard you set. These rules aren't just strategies, they're armor. They keep you focused when distractions call, strong when challenges hit, and unstoppable when opportunities arise. Because at the end of the day, a smart woman knows she's not here to just survive. She's here to lead, to inspire, and to live on her own terms. A smart woman knows that life will test her in ways she can't predict. People will underestimate her, challenges will push her, and distractions will try to pull her off course. But the difference between surviving and thriving is found in how she chooses to live each day, with intention, with strength, and with an unwavering belief in her own worth. Protecting your mind is where it all begins. When your thoughts are strong, your life follows. You can't allow fear, doubt, and negativity to build a home inside your head. Your mind is sacred space, and what you feed it will grow. Guard it from anything that weakens you, and fill it with what strengthens you. Valuing your time is the next step. Time is the currency of life. You can't earn more of it. A smart woman doesn't waste it on drama, distraction, or people who drain her. She invests her hours in growth, in peace, in building something meaningful. She understands that saying no to the wrong things creates space for the right thing. Then comes controlling your emotions. Life will always throw situations at you that make you want to react instantly, but power lives in the pause. Emotional control is not about pretending you don't feel. It's about guiding your feelings instead of letting them guide you. It's about responding with wisdom instead of reacting with impulse, no matter how heated the moment is. Never stop learning. Growth doesn't happen by accident. It happens when you stay curious, humble, and open to new knowledge. Every day is a classroom. Every mistake, every success, every conversation holds a lesson if you're willing to look for it. A smart woman refuses to become outdated. She learns, adapts, and keeps moving forward. And finally, walk with self-respect. The way you carry yourself sets the standard for how others treat you. You are not here to shrink, to apologize for your worth, or to settle for less than you deserve. Boundaries are not selfish, they are necessary. Self-respect is not arrogance, it's the foundation of dignity. And when you live by it, you naturally inspire others to raise their own standards. All 5 of these rules work together. Protecting your mind keeps you strong on the inside. Valuing your time ensures you spend your life wisely. Controlling your emotions helps you stay steady in the storm. Never stopping your learning keeps you growing in every season. And walking with self-respect ensures you never lose sight of your worth. This isn't about being perfect. It's about being intentional. You will have days where you slip, where you feel tired, where you question yourself. That's okay. What matters is that you keep coming back to these principles, because they will guide you back to your strength. A smart woman doesn't just hope life will treat her well, she creates a life that reflects her values. She doesn't wait for the world to hand her opportunities, she positions herself to seize them. And she doesn't measure herself by what others think, she measures herself by the standards she knows she deserves. Because in the end, a smart woman isn't defined by what life throws at her, she's defined by how she chooses to live in spite of it.